This is a question that remains in the mind of every aspirant, irrespective of the exam that you are taking. Here, I'm specifically going to talk about whether coaching is beneficial for you or self-study when we talk about MBA, especially in the perspective of CAT 25, because that's what the year we are talking about. So allow me to give you some unabridged, unbiased understanding of it. Let's begin. It is important for you to understand how the entire thing is structured. Let's say you talk about a new test that is coming up in the market. Nobody is aware of that test. In that case, everybody is at the equal pedestal. Everybody is doing the research. Everybody is trying to understand what should I do. Actually, it happens a lot. Let's say there is an organization in which the tests happen for the promotion of the junior level employees. Generally, no mock tests or such things are available. So they give the contract to a test making company, which makes the test on the basis of some elements that the organization is giving them, and finally they get the test. For them, everything is surprise. They have to prepare for verbal, they have to prepare for quants, they have to prepare for data interpretation, maybe GK. Within verbal section also, they might have to prepare for grammar or vocabulary and things like that, depending upon the need of that organization. But still, no fixed structure is there. But when we talk about CAT or MBA entrance exams in general, the industry is quite well organized now. And when we talk about a well organized industry, significant portion of the research portion goes away for a usual aspirant. In the wake of that, let's understand the industry first, which will give us the answer of that question that we started with. And then I also tell you that if you want to go for self-study or if you want to go for coaching, what are the things you can do? It is approximately 900 crore rupees industry, which means more or less everybody who is preparing for CAT is going through some form of coaching. The structure could be varied, but 900 crore is a massive sum. Now, this is an estimate. Could be more, could be less. But important thing is that the massive amount that currently is part of an organized industry would definitely tell you that, hey, there are things available for you to just start working on. No research needed. Diverse learning options are available within the industry. What are diverse learning options? Earlier there was just offline, but now you have offline, you have online. Within the online space, you have the self-learning pace, which means you just have the access to videos and you can do that. And you have hybrid. And within that also, you have section-specific learning and so on. Third is mock test driven approach. That is basically the game changer. In fact, I would say that there are two things which are game changers. One is this, and second is your technology. When I talk about technology, it basically means the personalized learning in terms of whether you can have one-on-one session or you have the AI enabled tech system in it. You have extensive analytics built into it, which generally is not possible for a single aspirant to create. So you will have to take the help of somebody. And when I talk about mock test driven approach, that is something that now you know what CAT looks like. Everybody is doing a lot of analysis. You have some framework built on it. So again, if you do not go for any mock test, even if you are doing self-study, then you might be left behind. In fact, for self-study people also, it is imperative to take up a mock series. So let's take a look at the comparative analysis between classroom coaching and self-study. I'll try to focus on the best and not so best things in both these cases, and then we can decide what we can do. Basically, you can decide what you want to do for yourself. If I talk about study plan and structure, now listen to this thing carefully. In a classroom coaching, as I told you, that there is a structured plan. But if I talk about self-study, it provides you more flexibility. Flexibility in terms of your timeline, flexibility in terms of the subjects you want to pick. For example, you might be good at verbal, but you might not be good at DILR. So for you, self-study could offer a better opportunity in a sense that, hey, let me just focus more on DILR. Verbal is going to be taken care of in general because I have that kind of an ability. How you will test that ability, we'll talk about that. Second thing is concept clarity. Again, see, in self-study, it is quite individual driven. Now, when I say self-study, it can be a mix also. For self-study also, you would be buying some books. You would be taking some sort of subscriptions here and there. You would be going to probably just the YouTube, and then you will have to see. So when I say it is individual driven, it doesn't mean that you are going to learn your own concepts, but basically you will have some sources that you will have to find out. But in this case, there would be a dedicated faculty, and there would be shortcuts, some concepts would be there on the basis of their understanding and learning. And there is some sort of accountability also built within that system, because this is where you are paying, but this is here, where you are getting the free sources. Now, not every free source is bad and not every free source is good. That also happens in this case also, but just a bit of understanding. Within the idea of doubt resolution, again, you have better ready access to instant doubt resolution when you are in a structured paid system. However, there is limited time for individual doubts, or you might have to go to various forums to get those doubts addressed. Again, that will be dependent on who is responding there and how actively people are responding. So it can definitely help you, but again, could help you with, not could help you, but I would rather say could confuse you with a lot of clutter. Now, test series again is available only in classroom coaching, but I've incorporated that thing in self-study mode also, because without test series, there is no CAT, just no CAT. If you think that, hey, I don't want to take test series, better is that you drop that plan. Why are you wasting your time anyway? Then time management. Again, within classroom coaching, you have fixed schedules, so timely syllabus completion happens. So unless you are extensively motivated on your own and you know when you have to finish something, then classroom coaching can offer a better opportunity. Otherwise, in case of self-study, of course, you have to think about travel time if you're going to, say, a library. Or you have, here travel time does not just mean going to library. Travel time here also means the time that you are going to invest in research. The travel time here also means that I want to do something now, but maybe I'm going to park something later on. So overall extension of your syllabus can happen if you are not well motivated. Now, within classroom coaching, travel time can definitely be part of it. But again, classroom coaching has two aspects. One is online, one is offline. So if time is a big problem for you, then offline might not be your calling. Online is something that you can think about. When I talk about cost, definitely, in fact, one of the most cogent reasons for a self-study model is the cost. And it definitely has a cost, classroom learning, but in case of self-study, there is practically no cost other than the test series that you are going to take. But I'm going to tell you how to arrest this thing as well. As far as MBA is concerned, there are various other tests and there are various other test prep, coaching programs which are at a very high cost. But MBA test prep is not one of those. Motivation and consistency, most important. If you think that you need somebody on your head, classroom coaching straight away. If you think that I can do everything on my own, then self-study can be your thing. In terms of peer learning also, classroom coaching can provide you better peer in the sense that you know that these are the people who are definitely there to crack CAT. Their motivations can vary, but again, when you go on the forums, not everybody would be as motivated as you are, and there is a big pool. But yes, it offers, that's fine. And finally, the access of resources. This is what I talked about earlier also, in terms of the things that require money from an organization to be poured in because it is a structured industry. An individual who is doing the self-study cannot access that. And if at all, the person is accessing it, they would be limited because certain of those things that are available on the market could be free. So how do you basically decide whether you want to go for a self-study program or a classroom coaching? I would say that follow these 5 steps. First step is that you must take a mock test. For that, you can go to the IMS website and click on their zero fee program. Zero fee, they will give you access to some of the material along with a couple of mocks that you can solve and see the analytics of it, and you will be able to see how much score you have gotten. The second step would be that you take a previous year paper in the exact exam scenario. So when you take up a previous year paper, that means 40 minutes in one go should be allocated, one after the other, for all the 3 sections. in that order. What is the order? First VARC, followed by DILR, and finally the quant. And see what raw score you get, and then map your raw score with the percentile that people have gotten for that raw score. You will get that data on website. Very easy to do that. I have a very simple understanding that if you are getting a percentile of 80 or less, then it would be better for you to go for a structured classroom program. If you are getting it more than 90, then you can decide whether you want to go for a classroom program or self-study. Self-study can actually work well here, provided that you take mocks. What about 80 to 90? That's for you to decide. This is where the idea of motivation will come in, because between 80 and 90 percentile, you know that things can vary here and there. And for that, again, it would again be a good idea to maybe reach out to one of our expert advisors, or somebody that you find as advisor, somebody on LinkedIn, somebody elder at your home who can guide you on that they say, this is the score I've gotten, this is my motivation, and so on. You tell me whether I want to go for self-study program or a classroom learning. Fourth one is cost. Motivation we have already talked about. This is very important. If you think I am not self-motivated, even if you have 99 percentile in your previous year paper and your mock, go for classroom program. Simple. Although somebody who has 99 percentile in that would be motivated. Now, cost is not a feature. And that's what I said, that within the MBA space, unless things are very difficult for you, the coaching industry of this doesn't really charge you a significant premium. They would charge you simple premium on the basis of the things that they are offering. So, of course, less offering, less is your cost, more offering, more is the cost. And the major portion of the cost is dedicated to the tech and the teacher. So more or less you will say that wherever there is more mentoring, the cost also would reflect toward that, but again, it will translate that. For example, in our system, we have a lot of mentoring sessions, one-on-one mentoring sessions. So that cost slightly will be built into it. But if we talk about our own self-learning program, then that is all recorded. So everything in terms of the tech you will be getting, the recorded sessions you will be getting, but if not mentoring, then that cost will be reduced. So significant flexibility is there in terms of the program that you want to choose across the industry. And within the industry, then you have to pick up which one can offer me the thing that I require. And that's where again mentoring and tech backing, AI and all that stuff comes up. So I'm saying that cost is not actually a very, very big option for an MBA. And then fifth thing, my dear, find one source. Decide what you want to do. If you want to do self-study, within that also find one source of your preparation. If you muddle the sources, then basically it is too many people cooking and your dish will be rotten. So if you're starting from scratch, bottom line is, or if you lack consistency, coaching is better. Within coaching, you can decide whether it is going to be offline or online. But if you are quite self-motivated and if you have achieved a level of decency in terms of your percentile, in terms of your expertise, then self-study can work, provided you take the mock test series for sure. So connect with us to know more and start your preparation right away.